All right, hello, it's go time. Another week of the Artist's Way. This week we are going over week 11, which means there's only one more week of material after this. So let's get into it. I know that I myself have not been keeping up with the Artist's Way as I would have intended to, right? Like it hasn't been, they're probably really dirty too. They always are. I don't ever look in the mirror, y'all. But I haven't been keeping up with this like I would have liked. My morning pages are very sporadic, and I think we've already talked about how the artist day is something that I kind of, in retrospect of the week, I'm like, oh yeah, that was my artist date. So it's not always perfect. It's not always to the T. In fact, in most cases, it's very far from it. But I'm still doing something, and that counts. Okay, so please give yourself some grace and compassion for wherever and however you've been doing this, because it's okay. You're doing a great job regardless. So that said, that falls really nicely into how this week starts, which is recovering a sense of autonomy. So figuring out ways in which we can accept and nurture ourselves as artists. And the first bullet point is acceptance. And so talking about experimenting with what works for you. And I think that is the one thing that our study group has really dug into, is supporting each other and giving each other permission to do this path, this journey, this experience in a way that works for us. It's 2021 currently, and I think we can see that there is no one size fits all for everybody, for everything. And even if people do all go through this exact same regimented thing, the outcomes are wildly different. So I'm just here to validate you in however you're doing this, whatever works for you. Keep experimenting, try things, fail at things, succeed at things, refine, distill. You're a mad scientist. Just keep creating, and what shakes out. It's all good. So we love that. I think that, again, we talked about this, that I'm getting a little repetitive now that we're into week 11, but a few things that stuck out to me. I cannot plan a career to unfold in a sensible direction dictated by cash flow and marketing strategies. Those things are fine, but too much attention to them can stifle the child within, who gets scared and angered when continually put off. Children, as we know, do not deal well with later, not now. So yes, that's something that I am practicing a lot in my own business and my own life. Sometimes I will write badly, draw badly, paint badly, perform badly. I have a right to do that, to get to the other side. Creativity is its own reward. Yeah, you might really suck at something, but you are never going to get better unless you keep trying. So you are allowed to do that. You have a right to do that. Just keep working on that, right? Just because you're not good at something doesn't mean that it's not worth doing. One of my biggest favoriteest parts of this chapter was this phrase: I do not need to be rich, but I do need to be richly supported. So I know this to be true in my own life. I have never been financially rich. There have definitely been times when I've been very financially poor and very financially well off. Little bit of this, that's my own money wounds coming out, but I do know that the one thing that has gotten me through all of it, and probably what's made me feel the most rich in my financially low times, is that being richly supported. And I've also found that when I have been not rich, my connections, my support seems to be richer, because I'm needing to rely on my community a little bit more, and that actually feels really good. So that's definitely something that I want you to think about, stew on that for a little bit. Success. Now here is where Julia and I, we've had some moments where I'm like, I don't know about this, but there was one section here where I was just like, oh no. No, Julia, that's not okay. Garden Tower popped on. So this is the part where she talks about this restless appetite for further exploration, about how we're asked to expand in order that we not contract. Can't I rest, we wonder. In a word, the answer is no. As artists, we are spiritual sharks. The ruthless truth is that if we don't keep moving, we sink to the bottom and die. I am not fully buying this. Everyone deserves rest. Everyone is worthy of rest. Rest is a part of the cycle. It is a part of the process. That hustle and grind and push culture is capitalism, and it's bullshit. So, this is the first time that I've been like, oh, no, she didn't. But, please remember to rest. Like, yes, keep going when, if things don't work out, if you feel like you're doing something not well, like, yeah, keep going, but also honor yourself and rest. If you need some resources about rest, check out Wintering by, I believe, Catherine May. Amazing book. And also the Nap Ministry. Great resources about the value of rest. So, another great quote: embedded as we often are in the business milieu of our art, it's tempting to guarantee work or guarantee what we cannot deliver. Good work that duplicates the good work that has gone before, right? Like, so often when something works, everyone's like, the capitalist frame of things is like, oh, rinse and repeat, right? And yes, to some degree, that's a good thing to do, but also, like, we can't just keep rinsing and repeating the same thing over and over again. That's not creative. Like, that's gonna get boring. That's not, there's no evolvement there. So perfection is stagnation, and we know that when things get stagnant, like, think of a stagnant pond, like, it gets funky in there, and not in a good way. So there's that. Next part was talking about how creativity requires action, and part of that needs to be physical. Totally agree here. This section got a little long with a whole lot of examples that seemed a little overkill to me, but moral of the story, you can save yourself a few pages, is get some physical movement in every day where you're not sitting down and trying to conjure something up or trying to create something. Like, allow your body to move, just to kind of get all of that energy flowing, whether it's a walk, a run, a swim, jumping on a trampoline, whatever it is. Do your thing, get some movement every day. Your body and your mind will thank you for it. And the last part was just talking about building your artist's altar. I have a feeling if you're watching this, you're probably already very familiar with kind of creating a special little space for yourself and, whatever that may be, but you deserve that. You deserve a little nook, a little shelf, a little corner. Maybe if you're, super blessed, you get a whole room or a whole space, but do it. Go somewhere where you can just tune into yourself, right? Like, where you've got the things that are helpful to you, that are meaningful to you, a place where you can just kind of be with yourself, right? And a safe space for you in your homes. You might not have a lot of space. It might live in a box, right? That you pull out, and when you're able to take a few minutes, you get out your little box, do your thing, whatever. Find something that works for you. I guarantee no matter how, where, who you are, you're able to come up with something. Even if, you don't have much of anything, you have to put in a little, like, Altoid tin, right? Like, and you just put a little something in there that you're able to put up. It's possible. Okay, that's it. That's talking about a sense of autonomy. We're doing it, y'all. We're doing it. I'm proud of you. You're amazing. Coming back next week, we're going to finish strong with week 12, and we will have completed this journey together. Unbelievable. So good, so worth it, in whatever form or fashion you're doing it in. I'm proud of you, and I will see you next week.